Welcome to your community. This is your hometown. This is Walton Entertainment. This is where you can hear from the community and those making a difference. We explore topics, local festivals, arts and entertainment, and local news. For this program and much more, visit us online at yourlocalstream.com. That's yourlocalstream.com.
So, Josh Wilson with Technology, Push Motion Technology Management. Forgive me. First time doing public speaking in a long time, so I'm bound to go and mince up my words a little bit. What we do is we go in, we help manage the technology for small businesses, taking that stress, that burden off of them, making sure that they are staying secure and they're not having to deal with the threats that we're going to talk about today. There, I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the business of the presentation here. All right, so hacking your business, how secure are you? I've got a question for everyone in the audience. How many of you have a note file, a piece of paper, whether it be on your computer, your phone, just again, piece of paper on your desk that has your passwords on it, even a notebook with your passwords on it. And or if you don't want to say just you, how many of you think your employees do? Show of hands? Don't be shy. All right, so we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about the different types of attacks that are going to be occurring most frequently. But that piece right there, what I want you to do first and foremost is go and get yourself a password manager. There are a lot of them out there. Don't store them in your web browser. Don't store them in your phone. Go and use a password manager that encrypts your passwords. First, biggest thing that you can do for yourself. All right, so small businesses were actually 28% of all of the breaches last year. When we're looking at the breaches, you've got everything from external actors being individuals that are going and attacking, organized crime going and attacking businesses, internal actors being your employees, your former employees that you might think that you can trust, but in the end, that's not a guarantee. You cannot be guaranteed that anyone is going to protect you. So your business, you have to protect your business. Most of the threats that happen are going to have one or two actual points of vulnerability. Attackers very, very seldom have to perform more than 4 attack actions. Basically what that means is, let's say that phishing email that you get. I'm going to go ahead and jump forward. So, how many of you have seen a phishing email? An email where they're going and they're pretending to be somebody. All right? When they're going and they're pretending to be somebody, they can make it look 100% legitimate. It's not even to a point where when you click on that link, you're going to have an idea as to if it's legitimate or not. If we go back one slide, they've made this website so that when you land on it, you think you're on Amazon's website, unless you're paying really close attention to the URL at the top, you're going to put your credentials in there. So think about how someone might do this with a banking website. It was actually done with, I want to say, Wells Fargo. They went and they inverted the L's into ones. So you could have gotten an email from Wells Fargo, or so you thought, and in the end, you went and you gave your credentials away. They logged you into the website. They made it where you could still do everything. You had no clue that you gave away your credentials. Let's see. All right. Jumping back a little bit here. Again, not completely fluid here, but 83% of all of your attacks are going to be financially motivated. You're not looking at people that are just in it to play around. There's a lot of money to be had. Doesn't matter if you're a one-person organization, 200-person organization, you are worth money. You've got to keep this in mind whenever you're working on your computers. That goes back to dealing with, again, password management being one of the biggest things. As soon as you open a file on your computer or on your phone, if you've got that password file stored on there, they can actually search your device. They can grab that file. They have every single password in that file. I actually performed that for the referral group. Who all do I have in here from my referral group? All right. So whenever you get a chance, you can talk with one of them. They've seen me go in, take a hacker machine, a demo customer machine. We opened up an email. It had a job application, so think of your HR department, or think of your accounting department receiving a bill. They open a PDF file, they open a Word file, whatever it might be. All of a sudden, if you don't have the right security in place, you've been compromised. That hacker can automate, even after you've restarted, even after you've gone and disconnected from the network. As soon as you reconnect, it goes and it tells the hacker, hey, back online, let's see what we can get into again. All right, compromised credentials. We talked about that briefly at the beginning. That's 40% of the data that is grabbed during a hack, because that's what leads them to getting into everything else, getting into the medical data, getting into the customer data. Don't think that your information, again, is not valuable. The email addresses of your customers are valuable. They can go and they can pretend to be you, saying, hey, you owe us X for this invoice, and click here to pay. If that customer trusts you, and they go and they pay that invoice because they trusted you, but that hacker was able to mimic your domain, that's going to damage your reputation as a business. Again, that goes back to being able to build out entire phishing websites. They can literally use artificial intelligence, go scan a website, rebuild, and then tweak the code. It takes them hours, not days, to do this. Once the website's there, they can mimic what they want rather quickly. All right. Going and circling back into threat types. I've gone ahead and just listed some of the header categories, if you will. So when you think about spyware, that's a piece of software that's going to be installed on your computer. It can even be fileless nowadays. You can literally click on a website and it can execute code behind the scenes. If your browser's not up to date, it can even go as far as executing code to take full control over your computer. They can go and they can use the command line of your computer, and forgive me, I know when I say that, half of you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but it's the back end. They literally can do things without you ever seeing. There's no mouse moving, there's no action taking place on the screen. They literally have a back door into your computer, a virtual back door. Brute force is where we're talking about them going and breaking into, let's say, the password manager that's built into Chrome or Edge or Firefox. those password managers are not encrypted. I guess they have a basic encryption now, but 6 months ago, they had nothing. There was actually a breach that took place inside of the browser. They had to do emergency patches because hackers found out how to pull that information just by simply going and executing a piece of code on their website when you clicked on their link. Let's see. Phishing is still 22% used in the sense of every single hack that happens when you're looking at these numbers, these are used in combination with one another. So it's not all going to add up. When we say 22%, it's actually that out of all the hacks, 22% included phishing, 46% included spyware, 34% included a brute force attempt. It's not one or the other. People are going and using strings of things to work through your systems. All right, going into the threat tactics, we talked about some of the ways that they're doing things, but as far as the actual tactics that these individuals are using, true hacking, where someone is actually sitting at a computer, actively working to breach your company, to breach your computers, your systems, that's a little over 40%. Then you've got the errors that are caused by those breaches. Even before you ever know that you've been breached, again, on average, it's 6 months, bare minimum, before you ever know that you've been breached, unless you've got a team of security experts that are monitoring all of your systems, that are looking for things that are happening in the back end that you wouldn't see visually with your eyes. Those errors are some of the first signs that you will ever see as an individual, where Word all of a sudden starts bombing out, in the sense you can't open a file. Excel, Outlook, even your browser, let's say Edge or Chrome, all of a sudden you start getting white screens, or the browser goes and locks up, freezes, and you can't do anything with it. Those types of errors can be a sign of a hacker in your system. Jumping back in, social attacks, social engineering. I want everyone to think back in the news. I guess it was probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. Facebook was breached. Facebook lost a ton of your personal information to hacker groups. Even if you had your profile set on private so that other people couldn't see it, they still got your name, your birth date, your email addresses, the friends that you have, their names, birth dates, email addresses. They can go and, again, start sending out those phishing campaigns using that social information. They can go and they can start using that information to call your banks once they figure out who your banks are, to try and gain access to your accounts. These are just some of the examples that you can have. It's not something that is one stop, fits everyone, but that information, again, is so valuable. Let's see. All right. Again, going back into why you matter, whether you are a school, a medical institute, a small business that is running 1, 2 employees, you're going to be storing information constantly. You have the ability to be phished. You can even have a customer that you know and trust go and send you an email that says, hey, I received this invoice from you. What's this about? You go to open it because you didn't send an invoice. Or let's say that it's a student at one of the schools. They've gone and they sent their teacher an email that has a Word document on it, let's say it's not even intentional. That Word document has the infection from their machine being infected by them downloading extras for Minecraft, them downloading extras for Fortnite. They download these things from, if you will, the shady corners of the web that aren't necessarily the dark web, but those shady corners that you get those mod packs for your kids, in the end, that can cause a breach, not just for their computer, every single device that connects to your internet connection at the house. You can go and you can have an employee unknowingly or knowingly bring in their phone, connect it to the computer. It's been on their Wi-Fi network at home. They've gotten breached by one of their kids. They've gotten breached by one of these attacks that's focusing on them indirectly as an individual. That's how these hackers are getting in. There's no one path. You've got to go ahead and start working on missing one of my slides, but we'll go and we'll just say it. How about that? You've got to work on dealing with the training of your employees, training yourself, taking the time to go through it, taking it seriously, not just going and saying, oh, I have this program, oh, I have a phishing simulation program in place for my employees, oh, I have an employee awareness training program in place for my employees. You've got to actually make sure they're engaged, they're working through those programs, they are not just clicking through to get to the complete button. All right, security frameworks, this is just 4 of them. I see that, like in Europe, they've got GDPR. I'm guessing some of you, if not all of you, have heard in the news that European Union went and put into effect a mandate that every single business that does business either in or with European citizens, they have to have GDPR compliance. So security frameworks are, in essence, something like GDPR compliance. You're getting into NIST, CSF, which is the National Institute for Security Technology, and CSF standing for Cyber Security Framework. ISO 27001, it's not one that I deal with, but it's been around longer than most of them. PCI, every single one of you that deals with credit card processing, you've got to have some level of PCI compliance. It doesn't matter if you've got your credit card processing company that is managing your terminals, your network still matters. If that terminal is connecting to your network, the computers that that terminal is going and connecting to matter, because if they can get onto the network, they can read all of this information, and eventually they can decrypt, even if it's encrypted, they can decrypt the information that is going through the network. All right, this one right here, this slide, I don't expect everyone to truly understand. Some of it you might. This is what the top level of a security framework looks like. It's giving you the top level control points, if you will. Continuous vulnerability management. So having teams and systems in place that are going and watching for new vulnerabilities, that are going and patching your systems for these vulnerabilities. Secure configuration, We're talking about making sure that every single device that is connected to your internal network is secure, that nobody can go and bring their cell phone in and connect to your internal network. Nobody can come in and plug in a USB from home so they can download a file. Nobody can go and bring a laptop or a tablet in and connect it to your Wi-Fi. Again, speaking about your internal Wi-Fi, you can go and you can create a guest network. You can even isolate that guest network where all it has access to is the internet. Pure and simple. Email and web browser protection. Your email, whether it's on G Suite, Office 365, internal hosted Exchange servers, you've got to go and you've got to layer that with additional security. There are probably over 20 companies just in the managed service provider space that we could use for email security. There are even more that are enterprise space. We have to go and we have to vet each one of those and determine what's right for our organization, for our structure. Web browser, I'd like for everyone to stop thinking about when, again, those that do understand, DNS filtering, where you're filtering just at the domain level. So CNN.com, FoxNews.com, Facebook.com. Don't think about filtering just at that level. That's the old style of filtering. You need to start looking at proxy-based filtering or HTTPS-based filtering where the websites are actively being scanned. They're not just at one layer looking at the site. When you go on to one of these news websites, they have places where anybody can go and they can post an article, right? They allow for independent people to go post something. It looks legitimate because it's a news website, but they can actually embed code on there. They can embed a link that you're going to click on there. When you get into those more advanced filtering systems, they're watching for that. They're making sure that you don't jump onto one of those malicious websites. Nothing is perfect, mind you, but it decreases your risk greatly. We've already talked about limitation of control of network. Boundary protection is getting into firewalls. Don't think that that device that you have from Best Buy or Costco or Walmart is going to protect your business network. They are meant for home users. They are not business class. They are not continuously monitoring for the types of activities that hit business networks to infiltrate them. You've got to have both business class antivirus and a business class firewall. Data protection, you're getting into thinking about what kind of access do each one of my employees have? Do they have access to everything? Do they have access to information that they just simply don't need to? Even if they don't know where it's at, do they have access to it? Because in the end, someone decides that they are unhappy or that you might be a nice payday and they've decided to start trying to figure out how to hack. It doesn't matter what they know exists. They can run tools, automated tools that are going to search and find things that are formatted like socials, things that are formatted like credit card numbers. They can find it across any database that you give them access to, any file system you give them access to. Account monitoring, you're going and you're dealing with, again, everything from your computer to your email, to your Salesforce, to your QuickBooks. All of these accounts should be monitored to make sure that if there are attempts to access them, it's logged. It's logging potentially even where those attempts are being made from, so that if someone does get a hold of your passwords, hey, I haven't been in Texas. Why is a login occurring from Texas? You know that you've been breached because you've got that account monitoring in place. Circling back one last time, that security awareness and training, making sure that your employees are getting trained. Don't think that any one security solution or any layered security solution without training your employees is protection for you. You've got to train them to keep an eye out, because there's always that next hack. It's not a guarantee that any security is going to protect you by itself. Layering your security is the best thing that you can do for yourself. From there, I do intend to have a session, I think it's about 2 weeks from now, going deeper into security frameworks, what they are and how you might implement some of the controls. I'm happy to talk with anybody about the different things that they could do, even as individuals within their organization, without going and hiring someone like myself. There are 2 managed service providers in the room. We've got over here, yep, Samuel, my brain's on one track, right? We've got Sam and we've got myself. He's with Velocity Technology Partners. I'm with Push Motion Technology Solutions. Between the 2 of us, I guarantee you, we can come in, we can help get you an idea, a plan to move forward with, to make sure that you're not one of the next breaches. I do want to go ahead and hit on a couple of statistics I didn't put in the slide real quick. All right, there are 1.5 million new phishing websites created every month. So, Wells Fargo, Chase, literally they can go, they invert a single letter or they add a letter that you might not quickly see. You're going to go in and you're going to enter your credentials. Number one thing I can tell you for that, never go to, even if you think it's legitimate, never go to your banking from a link in your email. Just avoid it. Go to the web browser, type in the link, go to it that way. Avoid doing it from a Google search. Again, type it in manual. Atlanta, Georgia had to spend more than $5 million rebuilding its computer network after being hit by the SamSam ransomware attack in 2018. Most businesses lost at minimum $8,500 per hour in revenue for downtime due to a ransomware-related incident. 75% of companies infected with ransomware were actually running up-to-date antivirus solutions. All right, this one is a little off-key from your main systems, but WordPress. Who all uses WordPress? All right, so your website, those plugins that you get to help you go and make your life easier to manage and build your own website, 25% of them in the store actually have been flagged with critical vulnerabilities that allow everything from mining bots, aka think crypto mining, think Bitcoin, Dogecoin, all of that, to go and use your server, use your system, and also to go and infect other people's computers to do the same, just by clicking on the link on your website. Again, back to the 2018 breach, Facebook, social media, 2.5 billion records were released because of that breach. Government has lost 1.2 billion records due to hackers. Other industries have lost about 380 million records. Retail, 186 million records. Now these numbers are from 2018. Those numbers were expected to grow at a growth rate of 350% per year. Yep.
I was going to ask a question and say we're kind of running short on time.
Oh.
Do you want to have time to take questions?
Yes, yep.
My question is, how safe, you've already told me, but just so everybody else will know, how safe are webcams that you purchase just like off of
Amazon?
whatever?
Yeah. All right, so this doesn't just apply to webcams. This applies to any number of devices. Let's think about your cell phone cable. The cell phone cable that you go and you buy for charging your phone off of Amazon could actually be built with a small chip at one end that as soon as you plug it in, it goes and it connects to the nearest Wi-Fi network, it connects through your computer's internet, and it can actually download the data off of your phone. I mean, those cables, they're available for pen testers, which I do some pen testing, as cheap as $50. So think about how much someone can gain off of you just by simply selling that cable for $15 or $20 and being cheaper than buying the cable from Apple or the cable from Samsung. When you go and buy those knockoff cables, you're taking a risk every single time. Same thing goes into those web cameras. When you go and plug them in, they could be going and reporting off to China. There is, I'm trying to remember the brand, Wise. Wise actually goes, and those Wise cameras that you can get for 25, 40 bucks, they actually go all the way through the US, they report to servers in China, and then filter back to you so that you can view it on your phone. I mean, think of everything that you're talking about. You go and you give that person you call for pizza delivery, you're giving them your credit card number over the phone. That Wise camera that you've got to help give you life, it's your breach.
Sorry, I had a question.
Yep.
Yeah, I think great presentation, by the way. I think everything you're saying has become so much more important for us in our daily lives last week. Could you speak a little bit about the ransomware attack that was running in Pipeline?
So I haven't had time to dig into it much. That ransomware attack just goes to show that I know everyone likes to think that the small business isn't the target, that it really is just these big institutes. These big institutes, they're spending a lot of money on cybersecurity, right? But oftentimes they go and they're using legacy systems to run their operations because they think that the development time to bring those systems up to date are not worth it. They think that they can add these other layers of security and not protect this one system. I'm pretty sure that nobody in this room is going to know what I mean when I say this, but there was an operating system called Novell. Then before Windows, you had DOS. A lot of these infrastructure systems are still running on those outdated systems. And someone brings in one little device, that device all of a sudden gets compromised and they've got the ability to wreak havoc on us all. Again, haven't had time with preparing for everything to dig into that particular breach, but there's an entire website that's been built about that breach at this point.
Can you stay if anybody has questions? after
Yeah,
this?
sure can.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Josh. Great information shared today that's applicable to us all business people and all of us driving around trying to find gas this week. All right, now I will present our May Member of the Month. This month we're recognizing the largest employer in Walton County, the Walton County School District. All schools have faced challenges over the past year that they have never had to deal with in the past. Our largest education organization, Walton County School District, with over 14,000 students, has excelled in every way during the global pandemic, quickly moving to online learning for the end of the 2020 school year, and then opening the schools in person and staying open for all of 2020 and 2021 that I want to say personally thank you for. This was a huge undertaking, but the school board and the staff recognized the need for students to be in person for the best education possible. In addition to all of this, graduation rates are up, higher than ever in Walton County, and we are so proud of these improvements. Having a high school graduation rate overall for the district of 91.8%, which is the highest ever. This really does affect everything else in the community. Our local businesses, future workforce, newcomers, new businesses wanting to move to Walton County, home values, and more. Not only does Walton County Schools educate our students, but they also get involved and give back to the community. Dr. Nathan Franklin serves on the Walton County Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors and is Vice Chair of the Community Development Division. He and employees of the school system also serve on many other community boards, including but not limited to the Boys and Girls Club, United Way, Relay for Life, and I'm sure many, many more we're not even aware of. They also had school groups bring in donations and goods for Piedmont Walton employees, including snacks, sanitizers, and soaps. At the statewide level, Dr. Franklin was awarded the 2021 Georgia School Superintendents Association's President's Award in recognition of his outstanding leadership in our school district and community. For all those reasons and more, we appreciate all that Walton County School District stands for, and we're glad to honor them as our May Member of the Month. I'll ask Dr. Franklin to come forward and accept this certificate.
Creative artists can offer you a wide range of video production. Call the experts and discuss your project today, whether it's your special event or your company. Creative Artist, 770-267-7368. Creative Artist produces this program you're watching. Call Creative Artist today, 770-267-7368. Creative Artist, they'll put you in the spotlight. The mission of Project Renewal is to provide the support and services necessary for families and individuals in the Georgia counties of Rockdale, Newton, and Walton to live in a violence-free home.
There was this guy that I met, was on online. We were talking for a while. He just seemed, really sweet. Good conversation, day by day. How you doing? Hello, beautiful. All the things that a woman would want to hear. After about 2 months, we wanted to meet in person. So we actually decided to meet in person on my birthday of last year. And we did. We actually met in person. And of course, when you go on your first date, you talk about your background, where you come from, your last relationship, and the do's and the don'ts of what you want in your new relationship, and how can you make something better in a new relationship. So when we talked about that, everything just seemed perfect. Like he was looking for the same thing that I was looking for: somebody loyal, somebody honest, and somebody to eventually love. And of course, you're looking for marriage. We argued for days and days at a time, but it started getting worse. We started doing it in front of the children. We started, just basically raising our voices. The children, started to cry. They started to beg us, to stop, arguing, to stop crying. And one day, it was raining outside, and, he was upset with me, and we were arguing. And the fact that I didn't speak to him, it basically made him angry. I noticed that my silence made him nervous, and it made him mad because I wouldn't say anything. I guess me speaking more and telling him how I feel, or being angry and showing my emotions, made him feel better versus me just being completely silent and having nothing to say at all. So I just started losing myself. I just started, distancing myself from my family because I didn't even feel worthy. I felt like I shouldn't be around people, because the fact that he seen me around people and I was happy, he felt like I was happy with them and not him. So I just started, being miserable. I was miserable, laying down at night just wondering, why am I here? How did I get here? How did things get this bad? Like, how? You just wonder, like, where to go wrong. Since Project Renewal, oh my gosh, when I got here, they didn't see it. Like, nobody ever see me down and out, but believe me, I was like down and out. I'm never a person to show my emotions, so when I got here, I'm like, hey, hello, how you doing? And things like that. When I got here, when I say that they were so welcoming, you feel the love when you walk in the door. You feel the love when they're going over, everything with you about how things work, and, they hold you accountable, and I really like that. It's not like, okay, you're grown, you got your own kids, go, make sure you do what you gotta do. They hold you accountable, but they're right there holding your hand as well. So you do what you need to do, but after you've done what you needed to do, what do you need us to do? I love that. I've never, had people that, really care, show love and affection. I mean, in the morning, they're happy. At night, they're happy. They check on you. And I just love that. I've never felt, so secure, at a place, where, we're in need. I, just thought that they would look down on me because, I'm here. But I mean, it's a wonderful atmosphere. They really care, and they also help you with, a lot of things that whatever you need help with, they try to help you as best as they can, and they will. And as long as they see you doing what you need to do, they see that you're working, they'll work on your behalf as well.
Monroe Country Day School's mission is to inspire every student to have a passion for academic and personal excellence through creative learning, independent thinking, and selfless service to others. Students are exposed to the local community and provided opportunities for independent thinking.
What will you do with all the dirt?
Some of the dirt you see has been hauled over here because they're going to have to build the finished floor, the elevation of the building, so that it's got to have the right kind of soil that will compact and tighten up for the footings of the building.
Monroe Country Day School values the whole child. Therefore, we believe in a holistic and integrated approach that involves the development of the student academically, personally, and socially. Monroe Country Day School believes that creative learning produces independent thinking and fosters a love of learning. Excellence is applied to all that we do. We strive to foster students that are pursuing strong academic and personal excellence. Project-based education is integrated into our curriculum.
When we go back in the classroom, we need the combined weight of you guys because we've got to figure our bridge, our mass bridge weight ratio, okay? You got to figure out how much weight it was that finally broke your bridge, okay?
We need a scale for that.
And then on Monday, we're going to redesign. We figured out where some of our flaws are. We're going to spend another week redesigning, all right?
Monroe Country Day School offers personalized education that begins with the personal knowledge of each student academically and each student's personal story. We believe that taking personal responsibilities for one's academic and personal choices produces strong, independent, capable, and confident citizens. Students are taught responsibility for self, peers, and community. Through service to one's peers and community, an equipped leader finds personal growth and fulfillment. We facilitate this leadership through providing experiences of service. Respect is the basis for good dialogue, independent thinking, and mutual enjoyment of life lived in community. Monroe Country Day School is designed for families who see the value of educating the whole child. Monroe Country Day School will reach its mission by maintaining small class sizes, offering project-based learning and a high-level curriculum, and by providing service opportunities in an aesthetically pleasing environment. Monroe Country Day School has positioned itself to produce a community of young people who are strong in mind and character and living as contributing members in their community. For more information, please contact Mandy Wellington, Admissions Director, at 770-267-8955.
Hey, if everybody will look this way, we'll snap some pictures, and on the count of three, we'll light the green light.
Don't let me talk, guy.
All right, are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Again, they say great things for folks who wait, and this should be a great splash park because we have been waiting a long time for it. It's taken about a little over a year to finally complete it, but we're going to see it fired up in just a few minutes. We're going to have the grandkids go out and hit that magic button that will turn on all the features. We want to recognize all the dignitaries here. We have our chairman, David Thompson's here. Bo Warren, who is the district commissioner. Lee Bradford's also here as well. And Kevin Little is our former chairman, has also made the trip. And we have a few mayors also. We have Robert. Oh, let me see you here. I'm sorry. Mr. Dixon's also here from the Monroe area. We have a couple mayors here. Robert's over there. There you go. Robert Post is here from the great city of Between, so thank you for coming. You're going to have your city hall right next door.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be a great neighbor of ours. And then we have David Keener
On this side.
over here. So we invite any of those guys to that want to speak. You want to say a few words?
I just want to say a word of thanks for all the hard work that Parks and Rec and Facilities did. They had their hands full with the contractor we had, and I think this will be a great asset. It was not in the formal starting stages. Kevin Little, our past chairman, is responsible for getting this up and going. He needs a round of applause for doing that. And I hope it's a great asset to our community and our children. Thank you for coming.
Just want to say again,
echo the chairman's remarks. Chairman Little played a big part in putting this together, and we're excited to have this in our community. There's going to be more to come, obviously, but what's important to me is this is going to be a tremendous tribute to the Ayers family and their legacy of Mr. Clinton when he was commission member, and just proud of this effort.
Kevin, would you like to say?
I will. I want to first of all thank the citizens, because most of this park was funded by the sales tax money, and I served on the Board of Commissioners with Clinton Ayers for 10 plus years. He was a mighty good fella. The Ayers family, I appreciate what all they've done, and for the community up here. And children, you know, when we started Parks and Recreation way back in 2001, and we said we wanted to have something for all the children throughout the county, but we also wanted to have something from 0 all the way up to 99. And so I understand that the pickleball court will be starting over here very soon, and that's something that the older adults enjoy doing. And so you'll have your grandkids right here while you're right over there playing. So hope there's many years of enjoyment here, and I'm glad it did finally get to come into reality. Thank y'all. Thank you, Board of Commissioners, for continuing it.
Thank you.
I just want to thank the Board of Commissioners and all the citizens who helped pay for this beautiful park. Being a small town, Between really enjoys having a facility like this to bring people into our town. We're just very fortunate. I've got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old granddaughters that just can't wait to get up here and get wet. So thank you again.
Keener.
What? Yeah, I'll just say that I'm proud to be a sister community with the city of Between, and proud for Mr. Post and this community for getting this nice park here. So I'm excited for the city, and look forward to being here soon to maybe utilize it myself. So, thank you, Commissioner.
Tell the truth, you want us to build one in Social Security.
Well, I do. Hey, David, y'all building the community center for us right now, so that ask is a little bit further out.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. We were actually a little nervous when we got the address here that it's listed as Monroe, and we said, we wish we could list it as Between, because now everybody's going to be a little jealous of the city that actually posts the address. There is a couple of features to this park. It's not just the splash park. Like you said, there's going to be pickleball courts. There'll be 4 pickleball courts that'll be constructed. The bids are coming back in a couple of weeks. And then we're in the middle of constructing an 18-hole frisbee golf course throughout the woods in here. And there'll also be a cross-country trail, walking trail, that we actually have a cross-country team with the Recreation Department that runs in the fall. So we'll be utilizing this as one of those places that they'll run as well. And then, of course, the dog park, where we have a small dog area and a large dog area, and a few, I guess, toys for them to play around on. Feel free to walk around. This is a great concession building and bathrooms. It all works very well. And locker rooms. We have showers. So lots of room to roam. Hi, this is Jody Johnson. I'm here at the ribbon cutting with that we just dedicated the new splash park to Mr. Clinton Ayers, and we do have it open and running. Unfortunately, the weather is not as warm as we would hope this time of year in May, but we are planning on opening it up every day on our normal hours starting next Thursday, which I believe is the 20th. I'm not 100% sure on the date on that, but it's next Thursday. And we'll open it up normal business hours until school's out. We'll be open from 4 until 6. We have rentals from 6 to 9. If anybody wants to rent this for a birthday party or whatever event they have, you're welcome to come. On Saturday, it'll be open from 10 until 6, and then from 6 to 9 also rentals, and then on Sunday from 1 to 6 We'll be closed on Mondays. Once school is out, we'll be open from 10 o'clock until 6 o'clock each day except for Monday. And then the same hours on the weekends, 10 to 6 on Saturday and 1 to 6 on Sunday. So we hope to see you at the Splash Park. There is $3 admission charge. You can buy a seasonal pass. But for all this information, you can go to our website at waltoncountyga.gov. So we appreciate it. We hope to see you at the park soon. Thank you.
How would you like to read Brown Bear, What Do You See? By Bill Martin Jr. and Eric Carl drew the pictures. Brown Bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. Red bird, what do you see? I see a yellow duck looking at me. Yellow duck, what do you see? I see a blue horse looking at me. Blue horse, what do you see? I see a green frog looking at me. Green frog, what do you see? I see a purple cat looking at me. Purple cat, what do you see? I see a white dog looking at me. White dog, what do you see? I see a black sheep looking at me. Black sheep, what do you see? I see a goldfish looking at me. Goldfish, what do you see? I see a teacher looking at me. Teacher, what do you see? I see children looking at me. Children, what do you see? We see a brown bear, a red bird, a yellow duck, a blue horse, a green frog, a purple cat, a white dog, a black sheep, a goldfish, and a teacher looking at us. That's what we see. The end.
Creative artists can offer you a wide range of video production. Call the experts and discuss your project today, whether it's your special event or your company. Creative Artist, 770-267-7368. Creative Artist produces this program you're watching. Call Creative Artist today, 770-267-7368. Creative Artist, they'll put you in the spotlight.